Hello guys, welcome to this GitHub for Beginners step-by-step tutorial on how to set up your GitHub account. So in this course, we'll cover the basics of GitHubs, including how to create an account, set up repositories, and manage files using GitHub. So by the end of this session, you have the confidence to use GitHub for your projects and collaborations. Okay, so let's dive in. So first, we're going to create a GitHub account. So the first step is to create a GitHub account. We're going to follow these steps. You need to search for GitHub in your browser, or you go to https://github.com. So this is it. Oh, sorry, this is it. So this is how the interface of GitHub looks like. So the next thing you need to do now is click on the green logo where it says sign up for GitHub. And now input your email. Here we're putting Alexa H systems. So input your email correctly, okay? gmail.com, choose a password. Once you choose a password, choose username. Choose your country. And you click on continue. So now it asks you to verify to play virtualized user. So try to verify the account. It says use the how to rotate the object to face the direction of the hand. Okay. So this is the direction of the hand. Verified. Now it's sent a password to our email. Let's check our email. So now we have created our GitHub account. Perfect. So what are we doing now? We now have the GitHub interface. So we have created a GitHub account in less than 5 minutes. This is what you're going to see, okay? So on the top right corner, you will see profile icon. You'll see a profile icon. This is it. Now, here, you're able to see your profile, your repository, your copilot, your projects. So everything, organization, enterprise, and everything, okay? So it's very simple. We're going to start on profile. We'll click on profile. When you click on your profile, simply, you're just going to see your name, your username, and you're going to see the repositories available in your account. So as of now, we have no repository, we have no project, we have no packages, so we have nothing. This is a new account we just created. So next, if we click here again, we're going to now see your repositories. We have no repositories. So what do? We're going to create a new repository by just clicking on it on the top right corner where it says new. And you are going to put the repository name. Okay. So let's just call this repository DevOps program. And now we can put the description for our repository. This repository contains our script to deploy, let's just say to deploy Maven. Okay. And now you can either choose to make your repository public. Public simply means everyone in the whole world will be able to search this repository. And private simply means no one will be able to search this repository unless you send them the repository link. Okay, great. So now the next thing we're going to do is you can add a README file or you can just allow it like that. Okay. So now click on create repository. We now have a repository that has been created successfully. Okay. So this is Alexa H Systems. And we have now showed you how to create a repository. We first created a GitHub account, and now we have created a repository. Okay. So the next thing now we're going to do is how can we add information in this repository? How can we add any script inside this repository? Okay. So you just need to come to create a file. You can either create a file or you can upload an existing file, create a file. And you're not going to choose your file name by clicking up here. Okay. Let's say we want to create a simple S3 bucket. We want a file to create an S3 bucket on AWS. What we now do is we'll just say, for example, S3 underscore bucket. You can put any name, okay? .cf. So I'm taking my case of Terraform, and I'm just going to take any Terraform script for an S3. Let me just go to the internet, S3 bucket.cf. I'm just going to be searching for any bucket. Okay. S3 bucket Terraform, sorry. Terraform, I'll get Terraform registry. So this is the bucket. And I'm just going to be pasting it, okay. So this is my first file. This is a Terraform file. It can be .yaml, it can just be .sh, you can put .sh, .yaml, .cf, it all depends, right, on what you're working on. You click on commit, changes, and you can put the description, you can commit. Perfect. So we now have a repository and we have a file inside. You can have multiple files, okay? So what is the repository? The repository is a tab where all code repositories will be stored, okay? So now, the next thing we want to do now is how can we clone this repository? How can we clone this repository? So repositories are like folders where project files are stored. So this is just a folder. You now have, if we come down to repositories, let me go back to Alexa systems. We now come to repositories. We have one. So this is a folder where our files are stored. If we click on DevOps program, this is just like a folder. And inside this folder, we'll have our file. Now, you're also going to notice that in this repository, we have branches, okay? we have a main branch. You can create a new branch, okay? So let me create a dev. We have a dev branch. You now notice that we have main, we have dev. You can create branches and you can create tags. So, for example, if you're working maybe in your environment and you don't want, let's say, someone to mess up your main branch, right? Or you can call it main or master, your main branch. They can work on your dev branch. And when they are finished, they're going to create what they call a pull request to merge now to your main branch. Okay. So that one will be seen in the advanced GitHub. So this is just the basic so you understand. Okay. So now we have now created a repository and we have choose public. So this implies that everyone in the internet can have access to this. Okay. Everyone in the internet can have access to this. How can you send this repository? Maybe to a friend, maybe to a friend that wanted you to help them to create something, an S3 bucket. You just come to code, yeah, and you copy, okay? That's it. You copy. As simple as that. You copy, okay? So we have added a file, and now we have committed. So now, let's say you want to work with this repository locally, okay? We have now seen this interface, okay? We now have, let me touch something again. Before we control repository, let me touch something again. So we have organization. Organization is simple. For organization, you can just click on new organization. On new organization, you choose create free organization. You put the organization name, you put the contact email, you verify, and you create. Okay, I don't want to create this, and you create. For the organization, you can add, let's say, members of your organization. Okay, you can add members of the organization so that people can work on a project. How will you work on a project? Let me show you the next step. We now have your project. We now have a project, and now you can just create a new project. You click on new, and you will choose if you want this project to be a table, a board, or you want to start from scratch. Okay. So this project works like Jira, whereby you can post your project, you can divide project among yourselves. You people can work on a common project. Okay. So those are easier ones which you can create, okay? You can try all of them. You can try all of them. But I'm taking you mostly on what you'll be doing because most of the organization might already be created by a company and all of those ones. So I'm taking you most on what you'll be doing day to day using Git because this is a tool developers use, DevOps engineer use, cloud engineer use. It's very important to know GitHub. So what will you do next? So we now want to use this repository in our local system, okay? Want to use this repository, let's say our terminal and on our SSH client, let's say maybe mobile extend, let's say maybe mobile extend, let's say maybe VS Code. On my case, I'm going to use VS Code, okay? I'm going to use VS Code or click new window. So whatever you're using, as long as you're comfortable, it's fine, right? I'm going to use VS Code. And I'll just drag my terminal up. I'll see him to download or whatsoever. Okay, they say download does not exist in my system. Let me see. Where am I think I'm in the wrong repository. Control L, LS. I have to seed into any file, any of my previous projects. Okay, there's no need seeding any stuff, okay? But if you want to see all of these are folders. I can see any of these folders. I can see any of these folders. I can see it into down. Okay, it's download with an S. Download with perfect. You see it work, right? It's download with an S. It work. So in this download, I have to create a folder. No need creating a folder. I want to clone a folder. Okay. So I want to use this remote repository on my local computer. So this is Git, this is stored in Git, okay? So this repository is stored in GitHub, which is remote repository. But now we want to use this repository on our local server. How do you do that? You click on code, you click on copy, you come to GitHub, you come to VS Code, you type git clone, okay, this, and you click enter. So now it says it has cloned that into download. Perfect. It has cloned into download. So now what do we do next? Let's look for the file. What was the name of the file? ls. I would have created a folder. I would have created a folder. There was a lot in my downloads. Okay, I'll just create a folder right now because there's a lot in my download. Okay, we're cloning another environment. So I'll just do mkit make directory. Let's call this directory git new dash git. Let's just say git new project. Perfect. So I'll seed into git dash new project. Perfect. I'm there, right? I'm inside git dash new project. Just so we don't get confused, right? Now I'm going to clone it by git clone. It might say it's already my system. Perfect. Now do ls. We have DevOps program. As simple as that, right? So we have DevOps program. Now, what am I going to do? I've seen ls. I want to see the content of that DevOps program. I can see it into DevOps dash program. I either told you what it's like a folder. So it entered. Now do ls. Now we have s3bucket.tf. Can you see this s3bucket.tf? This is the content. Let's see the content. That's the content, right? I'll come back. I'll come and do cat. Cat might not work on your system. I don't know if it actually works on mine. I don't know if it works on mine. Okay, it works. So can you see the content? Resource, S3, and every stuff. So you can actually see that. Okay. You can actually see that. So what do we want to do now? We want to edit this file. Okay. We want to edit this file. We want to edit this file. We want to add more content in this file. You can either Vim, you can VI, or you can append, okay? Or you can append. Let me say, let me add a little bit of content in this. Let me say, let me try to Vim. Let me try to Vim. You must have installed Vim, right? So mine is working because I've installed Vim, okay? And when you install Vim, now you do Shift-I, so it shows insert. Insert now allows you to edit. It now allows you to edit. Yeah, I'm going to type, this is my S3 bucket. And I'm going to comment. So it does not come out in the code. I'll comment, okay? So I've added the content there just as proof. And now I'll do escape, shift, Z, save. So now let's cut again the content of that bucket. Can you see the content of the bucket? It has, this is my S3 bucket, okay? How did I save? I save using the command shift, Z. How did I save? I saved using the command shift, Z. Perfect. So we have modified this repository, right? In our local environment, we have something else, but when we look here, nothing has changed, okay? So our local environment is different from our remote. So now we want to push that edit that we just edited to our remote repository, which is GitHub. So now, if we do git status, I'm going to drag this up. If we do git status, you will notice that it's going to show red. Why is it showing red? Because it is still in the working environment. We want to now move it from the working environment to the staging environment with the command git add dot stands for current working repository. Now we'll do git status again. Now it shows green because we have added. Okay. So the next thing we need to do now is git commits. With commit message git commit. So this course is going to show you everything very easy. Anyone just learning is going to understand perfectly, okay? So git commit -m, commit message, I'll say first commit. These are videos you will not see in the internet easily. Git first commit and you save. Perfect. So just see how we are flowing very easily, and the video we are doing, we are solving all the Git issues very simply, and we're executing the commands easily. So we have committed, okay? We have committed this code. Now, once we have committed, now it's left to push. Before pushing, we need to authenticate. We need to authenticate. We need to authenticate our remote repository. So now we want to push everything we have done, okay? We want to push everything we have, all the changes we have done to our remote repository, okay? When you always come in the Git environment, it's always good to run git initialize. What we would have done that thing to initialize. And next you now do so now you run the next command git status. We want to check the status of our file. So it's still in the working directory, right? That's why you see it's showing red. We want to move it now from the working directory to the staging directory. So run the command git add dot. We are moving now to the staging directory. If you do git status again, you now notice that it has changed to green, okay? Next thing we're going to do now is git commit -m our commit message. Let's say first commit, and we click enter. So we have successfully commit. Okay. So the next thing now will be to push. want to check our alias name, git remote dash v. We have the alias name called origin. Perfect. So before you'll be able to push, right, this is my existing account. You need to run these following commands. So let me show you these commands. You need to run this following command. You need to run git config dash global. If it's your first time, you need to run this user.name. In quote, you put your name, let's say maybe your GitHub username, it must be your GitHub username. So for example, this is my GitHub username, Alexa H. If my Alexa H, I'll put the username, Alexa H, and I close. Then you click enter. Okay. After again, you do again the GitHub config dash global user dash email. In code, you put your email, your GitHub email, maybe it's hub something at gmail.com. Okay. You put your email and you click enter, and it's going to prompt you the first time when you want to push to put a token. How do you get that token? Me, I'd already done that. Okay. So I'm showing you because when you push, you'll be prompted to put a token. So you click on your settings. You click on your settings. I'm going to show you how to generate that token, okay? So you just click on your settings and you'll be looking for GitHub personal access token. So now let's head to the settings. Where is my settings here? You scroll down to developer setting. You go where it says personal access token and you choose token classic, and now you're going to generate new token. You just click generate new token. So when you come here, you have to push to be your first time. When you want to push with the command git push, git push. What's our alias name? Alias name represents this repository. Okay, our alias name is origin. Git push origin. Origin. Then our branch name, the branch. We were working on our main branch, git push origin. Main. And you click enter. Successfully. So you that it's your first time, okay, they're going to prompt you to put your password. You're going to be using this token. You're going to be using this token as your password, okay? Perfect. So once you have push, you're going to get this message. You have push to your repository. So congratulations if you've been able to. So now it's time that we should go to our repository and check it. You remember I told you that I'm using my main account. So when we go there, we'll have this HTML bucket. You'll now be able to see the message. This is my Terraform script. Perfect. So you see that we have pushed successfully. I switched from the Alexa H to my main account because that's what was associated. Okay. So this is it. We have all the scripts. We're perfect. We have all the scripts. So you can see that. So that is it. you have not been able to push with GitHub, and you have not been able to use and do everything. Okay, now want to learn something else. Want to learn something else. Okay, now let's learn the last aspect. So now we go back home. So the next we want to learn now is how to fork a repository. Okay, let's say someone gave you a link, or you're searching for any repo online. For example, let's search for let's say Terraform script to deploy S3 buckets, GitHub. We're looking for someone's repository, right? For any person. Okay, well, I've seen this first one. So this is someone else's repository in the internet. Remember, this repository is public. It says in this book, you learn how to Terraform to automate primary and S3. Okay. So what do we want to do? We want to fork this repository in our environment. Okay. So you just need to click here on fork. Click on fork. And it's going to actually Alexa, where do you want to fork this? It's going to give a name, the description, and you just click create fork. So what would fork mean? Fork is like cloning somebody's remote repository to your remote repository. So now, if you see this is now in Alexa Edge system, we have been able to take someone else's repository and it's now in our environment. So look, the name is now Alexa Edge. Okay. So that's just the simple meaning of forking a repository. That's the simple meaning. So you can make changes to it and commit. You can even clone it to your environment. You can make changes to it. You can use it like your personal repository now. So you can always get repository on the internet and all that. So that is it. That is it. So this is for our GitHub basic tutorials. You have been able to create a GitHub repository, create repositories, make changes on your local environment, commit them and push them. And you're even able to collaborate with others by creating the organization and show you how to create an adding project. So I encourage you to start experimenting and exploring more about GitHub, because this is just our GitHub basic. So if you like this video, subscribe and see you in the next video.